Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Jez7780, with another What Grinds My Gears. I believe it's episode 25. And we're going to be talking instant reactions to June NPD, some Halo input my personal feelings about something that I just did, and SCARLETT. And from what I've been hearing about, other people's opinions, and, I have some newfound facts, or my own personal facts I like to drop. You know how it goes. So I got some requests out there to do this video because I posted a couple of Twitter things that we just had the NPDs for June come out. And hold on, let me put up my chatteroony. I get this chatteroony. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Well, I just get some of my stuff organized, and they're probably gonna hear me talk, right? Yeah, pretty much. And then let's pop up my chat for my good friends in chat. Tune into Xbox playing Xbox tonight. We'll be talking. I'm sure we'll talk about some NPDs. And listen. I'm not here. I'm gonna put a little disclaimer for the folks out there. Let me say something. What's up, Jeremiah? How you doing? So, I'll put a disclaimer. I'm not here to trash and to celebrate sales. I'm just going to give my opinion on what these sales and what's going on right now as we just finished E3. This is E3 month sales. Both Xbox and PlayStation both had sales. The PlayStation days and Xbox sales. I'm not trolling. So I'm not here celebrating, throwing in party favors, or cracking open pinatas. Hint, hint, Viva Pinata. Where's that anyway? I'm just going to talk about what I feel is going on and how everybody needs to shift their focus and stop telling me everybody's a friggin' Nostradamus and telling me Microsoft's the future. They have the future planned out while they're losing now. All right, we're going to get into that. So let me move my stuff around here. So let's go over the details of the NPDs if you haven't caught it, okay? So let's get into that right now. So we got to start with some information. And now I could, you know what? Let me give you guys something to look at so you're not staring at my friggin' logo all the time. So let's just hold on. Let me make sure this is up here, and we'll just go into the article. Want to do a quick vid. I'm not doing no 2-hour vid. My voice will be hoarse for tonight. But here we go. Let's share my ish. Here we go. Share this stuff. Okay. So probably chat. You guys are yelling at me in chat. I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Let me just share my screen here with what's going on. So this is a Venture Beat NPD. Mario Tennis Aces was the #1 software. We're going to go right to the visual charts because who likes to read? We go right to charts. So look at this. Software for June NPD 2018. Mario Tennis Aces. And something else we got to do. The little asterisk here says no digital sales included. So Mario Tennis Aces 1 NPD physical copies. So the ones without asterisks are physical and digital. So keep that in mind. Tennis Aces. Yo, great game. Mario Tennis on the go. Anything on the Switch is on the go. I'm up to the final boss right now. That single player is hard as hell, man. They think of crazy ways to play with a tennis. Or you didn't even think you could play tennis with boss battles. They found a way. That Nintendo, man. Game is great. They got online tournaments. However, the online is laggy. So Nintendo got to fix that. They want to charge money. That online, ugh. There's some crazy amount of lag, like bad connections and stuff. And I'm sitting right next to a router with 200 megabytes down and like 20 up. So their connections and stuff, I don't know. They better fix that because the lag on the online is not. It's not that fun for the online. But they got a whole crazy tournament set up, really cool, like how FIFA has it. Next one though, God of War. Holy crap, June. We are in April, May, June. And I just remember last month, there was somebody up here that beat God of War. Was there some that everybody was celebrating? There was a lot of like, haha, and L's. I saw L's. Was it? An Xbox game. Yes. Yes, there was. Where? What the fuck? Number 20. There we go. Now we're talking one and done. Those games, those supposed to be service games. These games are supposed to have legs. How the hell is a supposedly one and done God of War campaign game still up there? Number 2. So story should be spoiled by now. Playthroughs have been watched. But the service games, I don't even want to talk about our other good friend, Sea of Thieves. That shit's at the bottom of the fucking ocean. I don't know where the hell that thing went. But God of War got legs. GTA, happy about the Crew 2. Happy. I like Crew 2. Yeah, I'm glad it was up there. It didn't get bombed. I kind of like it. I thought it was a pretty cool game. I like that they expanded, as you would expect out of a sequel. They expanded it. Lego Incredibles, Mario Kart 8. Damn, that is almost a year. Things in the top 10. And it's just physical sales. FIFA 18, that was on crazy sale. I remember I was like, that's I bought. I was one of those guys. Crash Bandicoot, because it did come out. Detroit Become Human, still in the top 10. And Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda. Like, these MLB The Show is still on top 20. Baseball, I thought is like, whatever. Nobody plays baseball games. But, like, it just seems like it's really crazy. Like, some of these games, the Nintendo games, always, like, but these exclusive PlayStation games are having legs. They're sticking around. For some reason, well, I think we know the reason. State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves showed up in the top 2 the month they released, and they just completely just went, just dropped like a fucking anchor. I don't know what's going on over there with those games. Like, I know they're not great, but, like, come on, the Crew 2? The Crew 2 is probably going to drop off. And I'm talking, like, the MLB The Show, it's baseball season keeps going on. I really can't think of excuses. It's just that maybe, there's such a hunger for games on Xbox that everybody who has one just got to buy it, but that's about it. Similar to hardware. So we're going to go down there to hardware, and I'm going to jump back on because I don't know if you guys are yelling at me in chat, but yeah, God of War here. Santa Monica's continuous top, sitting at number 2, June's bestsellers 2018. Action games. Okay. So, yeah, and yeah, a lot of racing game stuff. And I think Horizon's going to have some legs. Hopefully Horizon has some legs when it gets in there. But I'm just like, I'm in shock that like that game, those Xbox exclusive games are just falling off the charts after they get released. Because, we're not going to, again, it's not celebration, but when people point out State of Decay 2 sold number 1 NPD last month, okay, that's great. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. And you got to know if you're going to give it, you're going to get it. And I always look at it as a spec is like, wait a second, why is that? And I'm not making excuses why it shouldn't be there. It's great that it's there. But there's a reason why it goes from 1 to 20. Like, there's something going on. And it's just that these are not great games. Like, they're not that great. They're not that engaging. And Microsoft has to do better. They got to do better with their software. And I hear this future. They're not doing anything now to help them in the future except promising they're buying studios. But anyway, let's get into the hardware before I go on that fucking rant. Get it all out now. So tonight I can have a beer and just be quiet and reference the video. Hardware accessories, right? So we got here. Holy shit. The NES Classic was number 1. Oh, nostalgia. Oh, baby. The NES Classic was number 1. They marketed the shit out of it, though. Everybody's like, we're getting them in stock. That was number 1. PlayStation number 2. And I think the Switch was 3. And Xbox rounded it all out in the rear. However, there's good news. Year over year, Xbox have made almost twice. And the Switch sold more than 50%. And it's funny because the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, was the first time since 1995 it's been out there. But it's a classic remake. It's not the original one. It's a classic, but it is pretty crazy. And yeah, the cards and all that other stuff. So let me drop out of this thing. And yeah, I was looking up July NPD, and that's something I tweeted out because that's the thing I wanted to go into. So the PlayStation was the best-selling console and remains the top platform year to date. Now they did have the sales, so let me get out of here now, so you can see my logo. Let me stop sharing. Stop sharing. Yeah, there it is, $59.99. All right, I'm stop sharing. Let me get into this. Let me see what you guys are yelling at me about here. Let's see. Here we go. What's up, man? Yeah. So anyway, what's up, Arian the Coon, Mark, Finest? There he is, the Finest. He's like, you gotta make a video. I'm like, you know what? Hold on. Let me do a video because you're right. I do have something to say. So what's up? Don't call me Danny. So yeah, right, yeah, Dixon. Like, yeah, the classic was number one. Okay, fine. I know where 3DS is and stuff. So anyway, so this is where we're going. So here we go. So what I gotta say is, so the classic is number one, whatever. But the PlayStation and Xbox both had sales, right? They both had sales during E3. PlayStation had the days of PlayStation. Xbox had their sale. Let me just. I wish I had this up already, but I got so excited to do the thing. But let me see. What is it? The Xbox E3 2018 sale. I think, and if you guys in chat know, did they have the was the X on sale? I think it was $50 off, right? Let's see. The X was $50 off, I believe. Let's see. Here it is. No. I forgot what their sale was. Their Xbox sales. Like their days sales. Was that, it wasn't the ultimate, was it the Ultimate Game Sale? Yeah, here it is. No, that's the Ultimate Game Sale. I want to know what their hardware sale was in the store. I kind of forget. Oh yeah, here it is. Here they are. Biggest Xbox sale of the year drops. Okay. So here it is. $50 off the Xbox One X. So the X, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's the scenario. Here's a scenario. So we got it right here. $199 for 500 gigabyte Xbox One S. $249 for 1 terabyte Xbox One S. $449 on the Xbox One X. The first time it's ever been discounted. Now, Nintendo didn't have any sales and $10 off controllers. You know, we love our controllers. So Nintendo didn't have any sales, right? What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man? No, and Savage Yoga, yeah, Nintendo didn't do a sale for the Switch, man. They haven't done shit. They've done a Mario bundle, like with the things, but they have not done a Switch. They haven't done a discount on the Switch at all. But Xbox took $50, and it says right on their website the first time it's ever been discounted because they've been throwing, you know, PUBG in there, whatever, and you know, they've been doing that. But this is the first time it's been $50, so it's $449. Well, the thing I tweeted out was my whole thing was, let's see, I think people are still coming. People still coming at me for my thing. But I just went and I wanted to see, because everybody says, oh, but they're financially doing better than last year. The Xbox is they made double than last year. So let's go back in time. Get Michael J. Fox. Let's get Doc. Let's get into DeLorean, and let's go back a year, right? E3 2017, right? Go get your varsity jacket. It's a monster. Get your chips. Put them in your mouth. It's coming. The monster is coming. You ready? We're back in time now. Close your eyes. Why didn't Xbox have good NPDs last year? Why? The S was not selling well. 1 month, I'm not sure if it was June or July, They said that it didn't break 100,000. I think it was at 99. I think it was July. Well, I think it was June, actually. I think it was June. I was trying to find, but you know how they are with the numbers. Like, I don't know if they're real or not, but I know that it had one of their lowest months. And what? Why? Let's go back. Get the time. Why? Because everybody, wait a second, everybody, not just some people, everybody was waiting for November 7th for the X. Nobody wanted that piece of shit S. Nobody wanted that. Everybody wanted the most powerful console in the world. Shit microchips. Chew on your microchips and shit them out. DirectX 12 baked on the chip. Faster load times. 4K. Actually, a year ago, we found out what true 4K meant. Because, true 4K was a new definition. It's resolution. It's what is it? All this, the checkerboarding, dynamic resolution. That's true 4K. Whatever. We found that out, too. We found out the price at $500. That's when I said, oh, fuck you. I'm not paying $500 to go play all my old games again. Where are the new games? And we're still talking a year later, where are the new games? But the sales were low of the S because people were waiting for the X. Okay? So, of course, this year, Xbox will be up because they got an old big VCR Xbox, if you could find them. They got the S and they got the X. They got a whole new set of they got an X hardware out there. They got an S and an X hardware, right? So they got more hardware out there. Plus, they sold low because everybody was waiting for the X. So they are going to be making more money this year. They weren't growing. Last year was a dip. Last year was a dip because everybody was waiting for the X. Everybody. And now we're all waiting for SCARLETT. That's right, Savage Yoga. And now we wait for the SCARLETT. Get those carrots out. That's what Microsoft does. Fucking give me carrots. I'm saying. Of course, financially. And financially, everybody's good. Gaming is here. Kumbaya. Light your campfires. Get your marshmallows. Do the s'mores. Gaming is not dead. I look at it as competition. And they're getting stomped the fuck out. Because with brand new hardware that came out November 7th, with the marketing behind that X, jumping out of limousines, having celebrities, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., everybody playing Halo and playing all these games in your Microsoft store. The Beast is coming, making varsity jackets, Xbox apparel, the marketing behind this, it was a new console. It was a new console. They were trying to gather mind share. But they missed out one critique, one little option. No games specifically to demonstrate the power of that console. Now, it could be scalable, but they don't have the franchise. So people say they're building for the future, for the SCARLETT. Microsoft set to dominate the future. With what? You got God of War sitting there in number 2 and number 1 fluctuating. Spider-Man's probably going to get over there and dethrone it. Okay? Mario Tennis, another exclusive, gets up there. These exclusives, and Nintendo is in its second year dropping games, exclusives. Sony is in its prime dropping games. Microsoft is in this middle of we're doing shit. People are talking Fable when Microsoft hasn't even confirmed Fable. This Reaper Studio bullshit. How many fucking studios are they buying? And what are they making? Haven't we been disappointed already? I don't understand how I could sit here. I can't be hopeful. I'm not hopeful because I've been disappointed. I've been let down so many times from them for speculation, thinking that they give a fuck. That I don't give a fuck. How many? Reaper Studios, and Playground's hiring these people and they're making Fable. Well, I'm glad you got your stories because Microsoft hasn't even confirmed Fable. They let E3 come and go, and the word Fable didn't even come out of their mouth. And Fable was one of the first rumored games in January. And everybody before January was like, Fable's coming, Fable's coming. No, they bought studios. Shit. And now they got this other Reaper studio coming in 2020? Oh, like, what? I don't, like, what? And we're like, oh, yeah, like, it may be Fable, maybe. But Microsoft themselves have never confirmed Fable. Come on. Let's talk about that Forza Kart game. Oh, Forza Kart. Yeah, they're making some kart game. They got somebody making on a kart game. It wasn't even Forza. It was a fucking Miami tablet game. Oh, they're making some Gears XCOM game. Yeah, that's great. You know, they got studios. They're making things. They got games. And then you come to find out that game is a game just for PC Gears Tactics. I mean, like, how many times? Oh, we got Halo news. Tune in Inside Xbox. Halo news. Well, we'll fix it, Master Chief, because that shit's been broke for 3 years, and now we decided to fix it, and we're going to give it a 4K polish. Oh, and by the way, we got some more Halo news. Holy shit, here it is. Halo and Dave & Buster's. It's like, well, wait a second. Now when Microsoft tells me they're making something, I don't know what they're making. So they could tell me they got 30 studios. It's like somebody coming out and going, you know what? I got the best ingredients. The best. Hand-picked tomatoes. Fresh mozzarella. I got the best to make pizza. The best ingredients. But I don't know how to make a fucking pizza. So they could talk about all these studios and all these ingredients. Look at Rare. Look what came out of that one. The fucking burnt pizza came out of that thing. So they could talk about these ingredients, but we haven't seen the final products. We don't even know if they're making pizza with those ingredients. We don't even know what they're making with these people. All these studios, we don't know. But when you look at the NPDs, the Xbox X hasn't even made a dent. They have not won or even come in second. That's the thing. I'm not even saying, oh my God, they should be champions because the X was the answer, the power. That's what everybody wanted. But the Switch, and Savage says it, the power narrative, the Switch, the portability of the Switch is winning at $300, which is really high for a console that's running at such low resolutions and so underpowered at $300. Like the X really hasn't put them on the map. It just sold to the same people who bought Sea of Thieves when it released and now dropped off the radar. Like, it's really fun, kind of frightening, especially if we're going to talk engagement numbers and we're talking 5 million. Aaron Greenberg goes 5 million. You're talking engagement numbers. And to see a game that supposedly has legs drop off like that, the only engagement you got is from the first time that game was sold. Your engagement must be fucking flatline now. And I saw his tweet about Sea of Thieves. 5 million people have played Sea of Thieves. Yeah. I'm going to drop some numbers. How many people have used a restroom stall this month in a public side rest stop? Oh, 10 million people have used this bathroom at this rest stop in this last month. So who gives it? Is that cumulative? Is that right now? Or 5 million people just poked their fucking nose in the game and said, nope, not for me, and left. Because those numbers mean shit. And they still haven't fixed that game. Because I'm not touching that shit with a fucking fishing pole. But when I see people playing that game, they decided now. They took the skeletons that everybody said, shit, I'm tired of shooting skeletons. And they said, oh, fuck. We need DLC. The people don't want skeletons. So what should we do with those skeletons? Know what? Put the skeletons on a fucking boat. They're on a boat. Let's go. New enemy. We take the skeletons and nobody wants to fight anymore because that's all we got. We modeled whoever modeled those skeletons is a fucking billionaire right now because that's the only enemy that's in the game is those skeletons and an oversized shark and sea dicks that we got in there. But let's take those skeletons. People are tired of fighting them. They're tired. What do we do with them? You know what? Put them on a boat, make them impossible to kill. And that's what your DLC that just came out on July 31st is. I thought it was going to be some pirate ship. No, it's the fucking skeletons on a ship. It's the skeletons. The same fucking skeletons that you've been shooting since April are just now on a ship now. They're off the island. Like fucking Lost. They came off the island and now they're on a ship. So, they just made it. Like, that's it. There's your DLC. How creative. Let's put a fucking skull and bones on the ship and take the skeletons off the island and put them on a boat. And let's make that boat impossible to kill so that people need to pair up in teams. But we're not going to put any fleet matchmaking system in it. Nah. We'll make you have to, like, yell out with them with your fucking horn to say, do you want to not shoot me right now and fight the skeleton boat? Fix your fucking game. All right? And same thing goes for you people, PUBG. Fix your fucking game. Don't add new vehicles to it. Fix the fucking game. Because all I hear is people saying it's broken. It doesn't give me any encouragement to go buy it, spend my hard-earned money on a fucking game that's still broke. So, there's a problem with their games. There's a problem with their software. So I can't sit here and have hope for Microsoft to be the dominant, to win NPDs, to be this. And what has the X done? What has it done? Enhancements, even those slowed up. Like 4K, like it's wonderful. Look at it, and then look at the just look at what has done with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky next, right? Go look at Digital Foundry. It hits 4K. You can run it at native 4K locked. But guess what varies? The fucking frame rate. But you can play it at locked 4K, so you can bust your nut on that one. Locked 4K native. Go ahead. Start cleaning your screen. Bust the nut. But what's going to fluctuate is the fucking frame rate. But they can say 4K native. Oh, man. What's up, Daniel B? Oh, Erica, what's up? How you doing? Yes, you're right. I'm not going to do 2 hours straight because, oh, man. I didn't even know I talked 2 hours last time. It's crazy. But now I forgot what I was laughing about. Oh, yeah, the variable frame rate. But wait, they got a performance mode, right? Okay, now they got a performance mode. So take that down a notch. But guess what? The performance mode doesn't stay at a lock 60. It varies yet again. So this sacrifice for like, oh, we could say our game is 4K native, but your frame rate is going to go from 60 to 50 and 40. Let me explain something. When I played on PC and I was doing the thing at 60 frames, when you play at 60 frames per second and something drops to 50, you see it. So just because it's over 30 doesn't make it the like peanut butter and jelly. Just because it's over 30, you see variations in frame rate. See, that's the key. It doesn't matter if it's running at 300 to 500 frames per second. You could be running a game at 500 frames per second. But hell, if it drops to 300 frames per second, you're going to see that shit like go, what the hell just happened on my screen? It's variations in frame rate that we notice. That's the thing. So if your frame rate is varying at 60 frames, going to 47, going to 50, going down to 41, going to 60, staying at 60, going down to 52, that game is not going to be fun to play. Okay? So to lock the resolution and just say, well, your frame rate goes all over the fucking place, but it's sitting around 30, but then drops to 25. But your performance mode, it goes to 60, it targets 60. I like how now targeting, it's like, if you go to college and you go, I want to get a degree, I'm targeting for my degree. Do you get it? Like, can you go around and get a job saying, well, I got my degree, I'm targeting my degree. Did you get your degree? Well, it came close, but I'm targeting it. So why the fuck is that acceptable if it's like, oh, we're targeting 60, of course, shoot for the stars. but you got to deliver on it. But this is what the X has done. The X has been this cloud of just like it performs better. Okay, it makes things better. It's also at $100 more, and in June it was actually $50 off. It's still not the sweet spot because it didn't give them enough leverage to even surpass the Switch, which wasn't on sale, or go after Sony. Sony didn't have a Pro on sale. Sony did have their Pro for $350, and they also had an exclusive console. You know, Microsoft, those exclusive consoles, right? The ones that you put behind fucking sweepstakes and milk box cartons. And go collect your soda tabs. Maybe you'll win this exclusive console and send us your soda tabs. Why is it a contest? Put that shit on the shelf so people can buy. Don't put it behind some phone. Wow, that is an amazing console. Yeah, retweet, like, share your soul. Send me a blood sample. Maybe you'll win it. What the fuck is that? The hell's that shit? I always tell you about my packs. I saw these controllers, gold foil. I was like, holy shit, look at these controllers. Here's my credit card. Can I buy one? No, take a picture of it and retweet it. I'm like, huh? Yeah, we're going to draw a winner at the end of packs. You mean you can't buy these controllers? No. What the? Like, you know what? Do you know you consumer? And when you come out with icy blue and midnight blue controllers, like, why don't you make them about a fucking game? Why does it have to be generic icy blue and sneaker white? Like, what the like? Make it for a game. Make a fucking Battletoads one. If you're not gonna make a Battletoads game, like, that's gonna be worth a damn, I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope it's not just some port bullshit. Even Conker, like, use your IP as a fucking controller. Put Conker on a fucking controller and sell it for $75. Use your IP. If you're not going to make a game, you might as well put it on a controller. Put it on a console. Make a rare replay console. Like, it's just like, as a consumer, I cannot stand a company that doesn't want you to buy something. And the shit that they promote is just so out there. Like, what, 5 million people in Sea of Thieves is supposed to get me to buy it? Putting skeletons on a boat? I'm supposed to say, here's $60 or here's my subscription? Like, I just don't understand what is important to them is not important to the consumer. And you see it with the NPDs. You're seeing it. Nintendo and Sony are going right after their market. They're going right into the public. They're going right in there head first, going, here's the games, here's the quality, here's the special editions, here's the Spider-Man bundle, here's a Spider-Man game. Here you go, here you go. Nintendo's like, here's Smash Bros. Right to the customer. Microsoft is fucking in cloud. They're like Katy Perry in the cloud with their fucking kicking their feet when they're doing California Girls. I don't want to see a meme of Phil Spencer as Katy Perry in the cloud, but that would be damn funny though. Kicking his feet. But you didn't hear it here, guys. I don't do that. But it's pretty funny. I am a funny dude when I think that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, like, they just seem so out of touch with their consumers. And then when they come down from the cloud and step onto the stage of E3, they say, we're sorry. We're making we got studios, we got ingredients. We don't know, and you don't know what the fuck we're making with them. And now I'm going to ascend back up to the cloud and go talk my bullshit to MSNBC and all those, and Bloomberg, and tell them how the console's not important. But one time a year, Phil and company step down from the cloud, step on an E3 stage, apologize, say we're going to do better and we're committed, and then go right back up to the cloud and go talk their bullshit. Let's talk SCARLETT. We're making services. We're making the content. You want to know what? It takes me, I'm going to leave the Halo thing. Well, I'm going to go into the Halo thing because this kind of goes into the content thing. Because NPD, I'm done with that one. We'll talk about that, but it is what it is. It's you know, To predict NPD now, you might as well call yourself John Madden. Well, you know, when he throws the ball, the guy's going to catch it. And when he catches it in the end zone, it's a touchdown. You know, if he throws the ball, he catches it. Oh, that guy's going to get hit. If he gets hit, he's going to drop the ball. PlayStation's going to win NPD. Microsoft is doing nothing to get that thing. They got to drop that price of the X. But really, it's like NPD is really set in stone. But Microsoft has to throw a curveball because they're doing nothing right now for the future. They might be making stuff on the back end, talking about cloud, talking about this. But guys, if they just show up and put their balls on the table, if they got no kind of reliance in the past year and a half, and they kind of just failed gamers for the last 2 years and just giving us Forza and mediocre Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, some bullshit that they package up as a service, and crack down whatever the hell that might look like, what goodwill are you going to have when Microsoft comes out and just throws out some more hardware? We've seen it with the X. It shows. They just came out with the X in November. They threw it on the table. The most powerful thing. We bared no expense. And here is the X. And what have they shown for it? It hasn't even made. They gone the and then the month that it came out, they hit 2 NPD. They came behind Nintendo. That's about it, man. That's it. They came behind Nintendo. And then that's it. They went back to tertiary, and then they stayed there. Now, they did try to make a move during June. I thought maybe that X at 450. But again, the X at 450 and even the S at 199 still didn't come in third place. Fuck the NES Classic, okay? Let's, like, yay. Okay. A $60 console, fine. But if you look at NES, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox is bringing up the rear. They had aggressive sales. It just shows that for some reason, I think we know the reason, Microsoft and the Xbox are just not desirable. Not to say that the hardware is shit or it's bad and, you know, it's garbage. It's not. It's just not publicly desirable. And Phil and his buddies in the cloud need to fix that before they start throwing Scarlett Johansson console clouds and all that other crap out there, because the X has backfired on them. Everybody thought that was the answer. They were waiting last year. The whole year was waiting for the power of the X. What's up, Bow's Moves? I'm Top Dog. I think Top Dog's funny. He just finished the intro. Pretty much. My intro goes right into my rants. But, you know, so basically, they need to get their console, their image as desirable. Obviously, they're desirable by loyal fans. But publicly, they are not desirable because those sales were pretty aggressive. But a 450X still not enough. That shit has to come down. And especially now when people are talking next generation, people are not going to spend $450 to $500 right now. They're doing exactly what they did with the S. They cannibalized the S all last year because it was all about the X. Now you got your X out and you're talking next generation consoles, a streaming service, leaks of a cloud. You're cannibalizing your console now, especially since you're not releasing really like God of War, Smash Brothers, like Detroit, Spider. You're not releasing any substantial games this year. You're not even doing a Halo or Gears this year. But you're still talking about hardware and services. You are not desirable. And nobody's going to go spend $500 to $450 right now when everybody's talking, yo, man, new consoles coming out in the next year or two. So that's why I think Sony is pretty smart and just like, PlayStation 5. Yeah, again, you guys create whatever stories you want. We're not talking PlayStation 5. Because as soon as we start talking PlayStation 5, the Pro, whatever it's selling, is going to slow up. It's selling so much. They could drop a PlayStation 5 whenever they want. Their competition is not doing anything. Microsoft could release 10 versions of hardware. But if Microsoft is not giving content now, they're not giving games now that we want sequels to. See, that's why I always said, and we're going to get into the SCARLETT now, they're not giving games now that, like, God of War comes out now. It's like, yo, I can't wait for God of War 2. Horizon came out last year. It's like Horizon 2. Sony's building. So when you tell me, oh, Microsoft's building for next generation, Sony already has blockbuster hits and sequels to amazing games that they've just released in the past year or two. Nintendo's doing the same thing. Your next Zelda, your next Splatoon, your next Smash Brothers. They're building. Microsoft should be releasing games right now that you want. Who wants Sea of Thieves 2? Dead silence. Who wants Sea of Thieves 2? Nobody wants Sea of Thieves 2. State of Decay 3. Hopefully what State of Decay 2 should have been. You trust them? Dead air. You trust them? See if the State of Decay 3 is going to be the biggest game we ever made. Well, didn't you say that about State of Decay 2? No, we're an indie studio. That was a budget title. Yeah, no. State of Decay 3 will be the game. Okay. You trust them? Crackdown, The Cloud, it's coming. All I've seen is Terry Crews in the last 2 years. Still nobody holding a fucking controller playing the fucking game. Except for some people at Comic-Con. And when they did that, it was a disaster. They took it off the shelf. Can't wait for that one. Who's waiting for that one? You ready for next generation Crackdown 4? Dead silence. That's what I mean. You need to be making shit now for the future. Because right now, it's just empty promises and bullshit rumors. And they seem real adamant about sharing they're not afraid to talk about the next hardware. Oh, shit. But no, we're not going to confirm Fable now. Fuck that. We're not going to say that. We're not going to do Fable. Even though everybody and their mother thinks their Playground Games is working on Fable. Wouldn't it be a kick in the left and right nut if that RPG that they're making is a brand new IP and not Fable? Just saying. Because Forza Kart was supposed to be a Forza Kart with people were saying, oh, with Microsoft IP, you got Conquer. No, turn to Miami Streets. Miami Street Racing. Oh, and that Gears Tactics. Oh, yeah, it did come through, but it wasn't for Xbox. So right now, anything's fair game. So who the hell knows if that RPG is Fable? Until they come out and say it's Fable, people are going to be real disappointed if it's not Fable. I'm some fucking Dave and Buster's sequel. Who the hell knows? When they say, yo, we're making a game, it's going to be exclusive on Disney cruise ships. Like, we made a deal with Disney. The next game that's coming from Ninja Theory is going to be released on all Disney cruise ships in 2020. Like, you don't know. You don't know. And you say you're crazy. What the hell are you talking about? They just did it in the last 6 months. So. They just did it in the last 6 months. This is not speculation. This is what they did. And the rumors that we ran with, or we saw, we had hope. We thought that was the hope for Xbox. The green light. Turned out to be a kick in the nuts. So, they got a different vision. They got a different plan. And I'm going to say right now, the thing I wanted to say about the SCARLETT stuff was, if Microsoft comes out in 2 years from now, 2020, and has mixed, confusing messaging, well, here's the cloud version. That's going to be 150, 200, but that's not going to play any of your games locally. There's going to be some special localization, lag-free, but you don't, the game's going to be streamed, but when you buy your game, it's streamed, but you can play it on there up to 2 people and 2 accounts, and then we're going to have the most powerful console that's $500, and that console is going to be able to play your games natively, also going to be able to stream, but when you buy a game there, where it's going to be just locked to your account, but you could also add your streaming account for $5 more if you want to stream it elsewhere, but otherwise you'll just be able to play it natively. And then and also the streaming app will be backloaded on the Xbox One S and the family of Xbox Ones that we had previously. And these games, and we're working with partners now, and what game is going to be able to stream. We have a few people that are willing to have our game streamable. Some don't want to do it. Some are going to be part of the streaming program like Play Anywhere, how successful that was. And Microsoft comes out at E3 next year and starts jibber-jabbering about all these options. You better go back and watch 2013. Because that's what they did. It wasn't what they were doing so much that went bonkers. It was the confusion because they couldn't explain it. Because there were so many options with family share and you don't own your games and people and I saw it from last week's Playing Xbox. When you start talking streaming games, everybody all of a sudden just goes primal. When you just talk about you're solely reliant on internet, everybody goes primal. People go crazy. What do you mean? I can't. And they think of instances like the nuclear submarine. So Microsoft is just going to do this again next generation. And Sony's going to come out and go, everything you loved with the PlayStation 4 is going to be the PlayStation 5. And look at these games. Good night. And they're going to keep their message simple. Xbox is going to be talking, well, you could play your games on the PC. You could stream them over here. You could stream them this way. You could go over this way. And Microsoft's going to be talking circles. And people are going to be trying to say, well, what do you mean? Well, how do I trade in my trade? How do I do this? Oh, well, I don't know. And then you're going to have, because I hear it when people talk about it, it is so like, well, they're going to have the computations on the box and they're going to do this. And already you hear it and you're just sort of like, okay, can I just play a fucking good game? And that's the kicker right there, is that at least in 2013, they had some good games. Rise, everything that's based off Rise, Rise, the Adam and Eve of gaming, finally in Game Pass. The Adam of gaming. The reference game that all games are built on. Rise, Son of Rome. Gameplay was ripped from that game and put in everything this generation. I'm being sarcastic, Anyway. But it's in Game Pass. Yay. Finally. And they had some good games at launch, So at least you'll tolerate some of this stuff. But if they don't have any good games, and Halo's some sort of platform thing, some like Minecraft thing, and it's not like just Halo. Where's my Halo 6? Where's the story? Where's Halsey? Where's Locke? What's going on? No, that happened a little bit ago. Now it's just Master Chief running around a Halo ring with other Master Chiefs running around. Make something. That's not Halo. It might be a branch of Halo, but where's my Halo 6? What happened? Cortana and the Guardians. Are we finding? Oh, no. Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, right. That's coming, Jay. This channel is brought to you by Rise, Son of Rome. He's sponsoring it. It was a great game. I thought it was a good game, but it is funny that we're talking about a game from 2013 as like being the basis of everything. But I liked it. I thought the story was good. I want more of it. But Microsoft believes no more of that. No more Sunset 2. No more Quantum Break 2. No Conker's Bad Fur Day. No Project Spark. Going on that thing. So do you see who Microsoft's bringing into Halo? The former guys, not Team Dakota, because those guys they fired. But I guess they got a bridge of them, or some guys. But the guys that made Spark, right? And made those kind of building games. Well, they're coming into Halo right now. So Halo Infinite, it's Minecraft. I'm telling you. It is a platform. And that's where I'm going to go on. I just finished, and I've been late to the game. I got an audiobook. I listened to The Fall of Reach. What a good book. I know everybody says like the best one, but my goodness, it brought me back. Listen to that story and listen. And this is not going to Halo thing, but listening to that story and how Cortana got introduced to Spartan 117. And I know people will be like, well, yo, where are you from? I'm back in time. So, I just came back in time. My DeLorean's parked outside. But thanks, Kuhn. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna say, like, just hearing the story, how Halsey built Cortana, and how they got her in there, and the Master Chief, and how he got Spartans with Linda, and how he got selected, and then after I finished the book, I went and just started to watch the ending of Full Reach, because I haven't beat Reach, another game that's sort of abandoned by Xbox. Halo Reach, where's that 4K update, and where's that fix or remaster? Like, yo. But it was like looking at the end of that game and how somber it was and how amazing. And then just think about what it started. And it started the Halo story. And just listen to Halo story. And you do Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo. I don't know what happened with Halo 4. 343 happened to it. And then they throw in Locke in Halo 5 and try to get Halsey. All of a sudden, she shows up. No explanation. At the end of Halo 4, she's basically, she did those Spartan Ops things and wants to kill everybody. And then all of a sudden, Halo 5, she loves John again. No explanation. They just had to fix the story. And let's show Locke in his movie. And now we have this kind of ad hoc story in Halo 5. And then now they're like, no Halo 6, Halo Infinite. It's the Master Chief saga after the events of Halo 5. So, who knows what that is? All I know is they got building worlds. They showed a lot of open stuff. And unfortunately, I think people are going to be it's going to be different. And they already said it's going to be different. Is it going to be the amazing campaign and amazing multiplayer in two different parts? I don't think so. I think it's going to be some sort of merge. And I think it's going to be like how they try to talk about Titanfall single player and Titanfall 1. Like, oh, yeah, there's a campaign. It's like, no, there isn't. You got an intro scene and an exit scene, but that's not a campaign. And I hope they don't do that to Halo with this whole service and platform and all this other stuff. And they're already doing it at Gears, where they're doing kind of a Halo Gears 5 seems like a spinoff. I said it before. I better see more of Marcus and this, and I want a comprehensive story. I don't want some spinoff where Kate goes on an adventure and you're telling me that's Gears 5, and Gears 6, 4 years later, is going to be telling me what goes on with Marcus and when the team gets back together. I'm not waiting to 2024 for that story. Wasn't even that great in Gears 4 anyway. Like, it's been very disappointing. And their storytelling, we're reading Reach and how they built up, and the Covenant was so revered and so difficult, and how they built up to Halo 3, and it was the trilogy with the prequel of Halo Reach, and then to see what Halo 4 was with, like, it was like the Prometheans, and then that Didac, oh, he's gone, now it's Cortana and Halo. They're not what are they building up. Halo 5 is like, okay, now we got the Guardians, okay, now Halo Infinite. It's like, whoa, wait. I hope this is like what Halo 3 was to the saga, right? Halo Infinite, I hope. Or is this Microsoft going in a new direction? Is it build a Halo? Build me a Halo. But just going back and reading how respected the IP was. The IP was so respected. Like when Microsoft, and I felt it. I'm going to tell you, I felt it. When Microsoft showed that Halo trailer and you hear the sound and it's like, ding, I was like, holy crap. Oh my God, yes. Like, you feel it. It was something special. And it's just been so long that they really kind of, like, they could have done so much with the Halo universe. And we're sitting here with Forza Horizon 4. And last year, Forza 7. They're not bad games, but like, where are they with game development? Like, They got studios named after these franchises, and they're not pumping out little stories, little gameplays, little anything, $20 Halo games or something. They put a Dave and Buster's game, though. They didn't forget about Dave and Buster's. But the fact that like they just abandoned, like those IPs are just taking a back seat. It's disappointing. And after reading Reach and reading that, like I just was wishing for those times. Like when you read something about Halo and it was special. Like it was like, yo, I can't wait to see what happens. And now you kind of left with like, is it even coming out next year? It's not just Halo 6, the saga, and then they're gonna do something else from that. Like I would have loved if they said Halo 6 and Halo Infinite are coming. That would have been great. It's like, yes, we got a Halo 6. Let's finish up the story in the trilogy. And now we're gonna do Halo Infinite, a whole other new thing. But it seems like they're kind of merging the two together. And we'll see how it goes. But again, I can't sit here and like you want to believe, you want to have hope, but they've just disappointed every single step of the way. It's just disappointing. Like, come on, you could just look at E3 and coming into E3, everybody was like, oh, they're going to announce Fable. Oh, that new guy's going to show his new studio and what they're working on. Phil Spencer went out there and pleaded and said and just reconfirmed that they're committed. Some political bullshit. And said we announced studios. They bought studios. 5 years into the generation, they decided to make games. What the hell you been selling me for the last 5 years? 5 years in and you decide to make games for your gaming console? No, just games in general, not specifically for Xbox, but for PC and Dave and Buster's and everybody, because everybody should play games. From little Timmy to grandma. From China to Japan to Ukraine to Canada to everybody should play. Yay. Just make a good game with a good story and has legs of a multiplayer. Stop with this world hunger thing. Go on stage, sound like friggin' the old Miss America. I want to do world peace. That's wonderful. But it's not your job for that. Your job is to satisfy the people who bought your product. Yeah, I know. Exactly, man. They came out there, mentioned 5 studios, were committed to gaming, and then had Rod Ferguson trail that with here's Gears Pop for the phones, and here's Gears Tactics for PC. Oh, well, we're making Gears 5 Kate story. That comes out maybe in a year or so. They should have. Savage Yoga, yes, they should have announced their studios and Inside Xbox. They should have. But he came down from the clouds and just went on stage and just announced studios. We don't know what genres they're making, what platforms they're making it on. You don't know what types of games. What happens if the collective comes out and goes, yeah, we're making a top-down shooter. It's going to be good, but it's a little game, $20, top-down shooter. People are expecting these guys are going to come out with the next versions of what Halo and Gears was. That's not the caliber of these studios. And Playground Games, we will see. But Playground Games, like, they haven't confirmed Fable yet. And what a slap in the face if it's not Fable. Or if it's Fable and they're trying to pawn it off as Fable, but it looks like something completely different. And then people are like, this is not Fable. I don't know. They got a lot to lose. Like, they might just stay away from Fable. Like, they might just stay away from that name because that name is going to carry some weight to it. And maybe Playground Games is not going to make a Fable. They're going to make an RPG game, but it's going to be their own RPG. People are assuming that that's going to be Fable, but maybe it's not. Until Microsoft confirms it, we don't know what it is. It might be their own studio, their own game, their own IP. because if it's Fable, it's going to carry a lot of weight, and it's not going to give them the flexibility to really make it their own. They're going to be tied into what Fable was, and then it's going to be Microsoft's marketing job to really go, no, it's Fable in essence. Fable, even though we got nobody who was working on the previous games like here, maybe they got some, but like if they call it Fable, there's going to be a lot of weight to come with that, and Microsoft's going to try to sell it as this is Fable. Whereas if they just make an RPG game and it's their own IP, new IP, they got flexibility to do whatever they want. But yeah, all right. They shouldn't. You know, they used E3 stage, and I ranted about this in my last episode for 2 hours, and I'm already doing a long one now. But yeah, I ranted about the last one. They basically said that, you know, they just committed. They just came out and gave a political statement, put a little pin on them. But yeah, I'll shout out. I had about 18 viewers, man. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Share this video, like it, hit the little, I guess, the alert thing, because I just do these kind of randomly, like when news comes out and I feel like I want to talk about something. So, definitely hit that alert thing so you know when I do the videos. But because I'm not routine with it. But this is what Daniel B saying, and Bowser Moves, like, as long as the game is good, who cares? Exactly, man. As long as the game is good. It really is that as long as the game is good. But what I'm saying is that if they name it Fable, they're kind of restricted already. And maybe Microsoft doesn't want to put a restriction on a new studio like that, especially a studio that hasn't made RPGs. I'm just speculating. I agree. Daniel, you're right. I just want a good game. Like, I'm not here to make no story about, like, what they're going to do. I'm just here. I just want to have a great game from Microsoft. Like, something that's worth a damn. Because I feel like what they've been giving is not worth a damn. But I'm just saying, if people are assuming it's Fable, but maybe to Microsoft's vision, maybe they don't want to call it Fable because it might carry too much pressure to them to try to replicate what is done and not give them the creative freedom to make an RPG that they might want. Who knows? Thanks. Thanks, Erica. Thank you. But yeah, like, so, like, basically, yeah, I should be cooking dinner, actually. I ran downstairs like, I'm going to talk. But, yeah, so, yeah, like, it could be. Could put a restriction on them, So maybe I'm just saying, maybe Microsoft's vision, maybe they don't want to put that pressure on them to recreate Fable, or like try to make a different game that they wanted to make, call it Fable, and then people go, that's not Fable. Oh, some people go, I like the new direction. I don't know. But they still haven't confirmed it's Fable. And I see everybody running with, like, Microsoft making Fable. It's like, I hope. You hope? Because they've done the bait and switch and the switcheroonie so many times on Crackdown, on all these games, man. Yeah, I agree, man. Saying with the with another purchase, a compulsion. As I said, the Contrast, that was like a PlayStation launch game too. Like, I remember that was my big deal, that the indie game. And we happy feel like, yeah, they buy, and that's what I was saying last time about No Man's Sky. Like, that seems like a perfect developer for them to buy. They're cheap, and they got this open world that Microsoft could just, like, put content in it and make money. And they can make, like, they got this algorithm with it, they could just make a game, open world game, like a platform. But yeah, like the Halo thing, and then just to go on the Scarlett, like I was saying before, just to wrap up, if they come out and they're talking all these different things and just so many. Remember how with the S and the X, and you could play them here and you could do this and you get one account for your streaming account and all this. If they start confusing people, they're just going to dig themselves deeper in a hole. Like, they already are in the hole that they've had and they haven't come out of it, and they'll just make them less desirable. And that's what the NPD showed, is that Microsoft, they're in a rut right now. They financially, they're amazing. Nobody's going out of business. But to the public image and consumer base, the console does not seem to be super desirable. Yes, it's better year over year, but last year everybody was waiting for the X, and now they have new hardware out. So they should do better, because you only could go up from, like, being really low last year because everybody was waiting. And now we're just like, they're doing fine. And that's the other problem is like they're doing so fine that I don't see this comeback Rocky Balboa. Come on, one more chance. I'm going to kick you out. They're doing fine. Which makes you think that, what makes you think the next generation, they're kicking doors down, throwing right hooks? They're doing great where they are right now. And I'm just upset that they're doing so good, but us gamers who want great games from them are doing bad, because it should go hand in hand. You do good when your consumer's happy, right? But if you do good and you're not releasing very compelling software and you're not very desirable product to the public, where you're not even making dents when you're putting sales on your stuff, like, you got to reevaluate yourself. They got to go prime. They got to go level. They should have just go X, $400. Here are the great games. Go. Instead, they try to sell these enhancements at $500. Are they worth it? Are they not? It's too much confusion. Is this game enhanced? Go to the list. Bring up the website, honey. I got to see if this is enhanced. Oh, Major Nelson just said it's enhanced. Oh, here we go. We got it. Honey, go look at my old games. Does any of them work with Xbox? Wait, I got to check Major Nelson's list. Yeah, man. Andrew Wilkins. Yeah, they did. They're over a year, they're making money, which, yay. I don't see any of their money. But the NES Classic, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and your Xbox, who had sales. But again, it's confusing. What I was saying, go check the list. Major Nelson just tweeted out, I can play my game. That's confusing. That's not. And guess what? They don't have that list at Best Buy next to the console. Like, these games are playable. No, it's a crapshoot. You got to go buy your X and go log on to the website and go see what games work. But when you just have a good game, you don't worry about what my old games are playing, because you know what? That's a plus. That's a benefit of me owning the console. That's great. But I'm buying this thing to play Microsoft's version of Detroit to Become Human, of God of War, of Dreams, of Spider-Man. That's why I bought this, to see it. And they don't have those games. The caliber. Like, Spider-Man's going to be fucking insane. Yeah, I know. He trolls with his white gloves. But it's just like, it's unfortunate. And like I said before in this rant shows, we should be having heavyweight fights. It should be Rocky and the Russian. Boom, boom, boom. Microsoft should be like, boom, Halo. And then Sony should be like, boom, God of War. And then Microsoft's like, fuck you. Here's Gears. Boom, chainsaw his ass. And they're like, yo, here's some robots from Detroit. Here's Spider-Man. And Microsoft be like, fuck you. Here's Conker. Oh, and everybody just going back and forth. And we should just be like, oh, like just in our glory. Just watching these two behemoths just fucking try to win us over with these amazing games. Back and forth and back and forth. Like when Halo 3 came out and holy shit, here comes Metal Gear Solid 4. Holy shit, the battle of the behemoth. Here we go. Like everybody was showing their best foot forward. And we're here talking. That's where it should be. We're 5 years in with this stuff. This is the prime days, man. This is these last 2 years. Sony's doing, Nintendo is matching up from their launch stuff. They're hitting hard with all these games. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. You gotta bring it. And I'm not talking about partnerships and DLCs. I'm talking about your studio should be running like a well-oiled machine. And I'm not even talking about what Sony got with Days Gone. Looks pretty damn cool. And then they got Last of Us 2 still. Holy shit. And Ghost of Tsushima looks awesome. Like, come on. We should just be like, and it's not fair that one console that's charging the most for their console is not delivering on that. There's no excuses. And that's where I come off with grinding gears, because this is inexcusable. I don't give a shit who you bought or when you're coming out with games. What the fuck have you done for me lately? And that has been shit. And the reason why I even started this channel was I was sick of the jibber jabber bull, the flapping of their lips every single time they talk about something. Well, I look at the console. If you look at Minecraft, if you look at this and services and this, and I don't care. No, it's not about the game. It's not about the console gamer. It's about everybody. I'm done. You want to go have a campfire and make games for gamers and go on phones and make cell phone games, then do it. But stop faking it and pretending like you give a shit about the people wearing that Xbox jersey in the crowd and bleeding green. They're just along for the ride. Well, like I said, you go around and do everything else. Don't be unfaithful to your loyal fan base that's stuck around for 13 years, 14 years, subscribing to Xbox, buying those Xbox pajamas, buying 7 consoles, launch day consoles, buying 2 and 3 consoles when my other ones were getting serviced. You don't. Don't pretend that you care about me, because your actions are louder than words, and your actions suck, and they're boring. And I'm not going to sit here and give you the benefit of the doubt that you're just all of a sudden going to come back to me going, oh, she wasn't the one, you're the one. I'll go fuck yourself, because I've moved on. And they're going to do that to a lot of people. Especially they come back with all this jibber jabber, talking generations and streaming and this backwards and this is forwards and, oh, the controller works. Let it be confusing again. Let it be confusing. And Sony and Nintendo just sticking traditional. And Microsoft trying to do all this crazy shit. You got your 2013. And I'm telling you, you could sit here in 2018 and tell me we're ready. We're ready, guys. We're ready. We're not ready. Because as soon as you start talking about you don't own your games, people lose their shit. You could have 100% digital library and you start talking some crazy shit and confusing stuff, people go crazy. So they better take that in consideration. Thanks to Coon. Are you watching The Office? Well, thanks, man. I'll let you get back to The Office. But I'm just saying, man, like, you can't be talking crazy next generation. They got to be clear and concise. That's why if they do a Scarlett box, that thing better be on its own thing. Like, that better be like next year, like fall chill. Don't do Scarlett box with Scarlett consoles, and they'll be confusing, man. And they'll muddy the water, muddy the messaging. Oh, and they're still gonna throw PC into the mix. So they're like, oh, and Windows PC, and people make, well, wait a second, I could buy a computer and play this game. Yep. And but wait, I could stream it on this. It already sounds crazy, man. It already sounds crazy just with the speculation. And they're talking too much. They want to do too much, just like in 2013. And they didn't learn their lesson. And you say, well, they learned their lesson. No, they didn't. Because Phil Spencer went on stage twice and announced a $500 console. The first time, he basically was silenced and laughed off the stage and stumbled on his words. And he had the golden balls to come back out there in 2017 and announce a $500 console. That I don't understand that. I don't care if it's worth it or not worth it. The fact that he went out there and he believes that $500 is what people want. Yeah, whatever. That shows me you didn't learn your lesson. That thing should have been $400. And we would have started making dents right now. It would have been neck and neck. It would have been fighting for NPDs right now. If that X launched at $400, I think there would have been at least a spark of competition. The games, yes, would have been lacking, but at least it's kind of hard to justify a Pro versus an X with the power difference and being the same price. The games might have carried, definitely would have probably carried PlayStation, but it would have been very compelling and at least would have probably made it be competitive in NPD. But they're still sitting there $500, and even $450 is not desirable. That thing had to be it had to come out of $400, and they lost me when they did that because I'm like, wait a second, don't you remember? And don't, and I'm gonna just leave this last thing. Do you remember? Let's go back in time one more time. I'm gonna take us back. Let's jump in the DeLorean, everybody. We're gonna go back one more year again, June 2017. Do you remember when Jeff Keighley, before E3, Microsoft's conference, said the X is going to be $500? It was so bad for Jeff Keighley that he started trolling this year, saying about how he was Walmart leak or whatever like that. He got attacked. Bull, I remember, man. It was like, are you insane? Like, people went off. I'm going, no way. Because the world believed Microsoft was going to be competitive and release that X at $400. Then, after the realization came out that it was $500, people started doing their damage control. Well, it's really worth it. Go ahead, go build the PC. All right. But you forget, an hour or two ago, Keighley was getting destroyed, saying he was lying and ruining their conference, and this could have been a mislead. Because everybody thought that Microsoft was going to give a damn about the console space and make that thing $400 and be competitive with the Pro. Instead, they priced it right out of competition. And that's why you see it sitting there now, not really creating a dent. It's making them more money than last year, of course, because that's what's selling. And when that sells at $500 year over year, I'm sure it's there. I understand. He is a douche. He is, trust me. He's going to be jerking Kojima. Kojima's going to win a wood before his game comes out. Like, I think that thing is ridiculous. They got to stop ball washing each other, those two. For Kojima. Get the hell out of here. That's like the Kojima show. I don't even care about the Game Awards. It's like, oh, yeah, what's Kojima going to do? He's going to come out of the stage. He's going to come from the ceiling. He's going to swing down like the Heartbreak Kid. He's going to come on the friggin' the zip line. Because, Jeff Keighley has to have that. But just the thing is that the speculation was that system was going to be $400, and people were like calling him craziness, and it came out at $500, and that just showed me that Microsoft really didn't learn, or they really don't give a care about the console space and being aggressive in the console space. I was glad they put the thing on sale in June. Like, I think that was great. They should have put that thing on sale of the X. Sony came out with a custom console, the blue one. Say what you will with controllers. I wouldn't mind if Microsoft came out with their 1 billion controllers and they actually had games. They were limited edition for games, like branded for games that they make, some IP. So maybe a Killer Instinct controller, like all the different characters. Like, the fact that they come out with controllers, and the controllers, Heartbreak Kid, when he came swinging down the zip line, like, the fact that they come out with controllers and Midnight Blue and Sneaker White and stuff, it's like, really, there's lack of inspiration there? Slap your IP on it. Hell, I've been saying this since they released that Xbox build your own controller thing. Why don't you have selectable skins from your IP? Have Voodoo Vince there as a skin. Make your own Voodoo Vince controller. Why do you take your IP that Phil, when he came out, oh, I'm bringing IP back, Rare Replay, here it is, all this stuff. And it's just like in the vault somewhere, like fucking Disney. Oh, in the vault. That's how you build for next generation. That's what I thought backwards compatibility was. I thought backwards compatibility was for them to build on the old IP that you remember so they can make the new versions of those games. Well, guess what? It stopped at the backwards compatibility. It's like, oh, you love Fusion Frenzy? Go play Fusion Frenzy 1. You remember that game? Yeah, it's good. Go play it. So the fact that you're doing backwards compatibility Fusion Frenzy doesn't mean you're making a new one? Nah, fuck that. We're not making any new games. And backwards compatibility just kind of died off because it's like, I played all that stuff already. Like, I wouldn't mind playing it to get excited for a new version, a new edition, a special. I don't know. But if you just leave it in the past, that's where it stays in the past. And that's where I got upset with the backwards compatibility. I thought it was going to be a great way for them to expand and grow and reestablish their IP. Yeah, it is. That's right, Mark Woodland. That's right. Backwards compatibility was used, and that's what happened. It eventually turned into using to pad their lineup, which that's not what I felt. Hell, when Phil Spencer announced backwards compatibility, I threw my fucking Shih Tzu dog like 10 feet in the air and caught him. I was like, holy shit, I threw the fucking dog in the air and I caught him. You're not going to get that from another a Nintendo fan and I like Nintendo, a PlayStation fan or anything like. I was genuinely excited about that shit. Fucking dog was like, what the hell's going on? But I was like, holy shit, backwards compatibility. And that's all it was, though. It just became that. It was like, yeah, go play your game from fucking 10 years ago. Have fun. It's new. Go pay $20 for it. GameStop's giving that and fucking coupons. Like, no shit, Pete is coming at me. I did say I caught him, though. I didn't just throw him up in the air and fucking like throw him off the couch or something like that. But he was on my lap, and I was like, holy shit. I was excited. But yeah, that's what it all turned into. It just turned into that. And it was just like, shit. Like, like it just was to pad their lineup, just like the enhancements. And it's like those carrots that I mentioned. It's like, you could do that is fine, but that should not be the main course. We should be getting the main course and all that bonus stuff. That stuff's exciting. But when that bonus stuff becomes all you're offering right now, that's sad. That's sad. And the fact that you keep talking about more bonus stuff like streaming, and that's going to be essential. And that was my whole point on my last podcast was content is king. You see, Google just took Richard Marx. Hold on to the nights. Nobody got that joke. I tweeted all day fucking yesterday. I was like, oh, man, he's going to be playing piano in the lobby of Google. Nobody likes Richard Marx. Man, he was good. Richard Marx got good songs. But anyway, nobody got that joke. I think somebody said, yeah, if you're old, you'll get that joke. It's like, oh, shit. Better fucking take my wheelchair. But, man. But Richard Marx just went to Google. Hold on to the nights. Google's coming with something. Go. See, Daniel B, I knew it. Oh, man. Well, go look him up. He sings some good songs. Endless Summer Nights. Hold on. I use it a lot with courting the girls. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. I thought it was a funny joke. I was cracking up. Trust me, I was sitting in a fucking airport for a flight that was delayed for 3 hours for an hour and a half flight. I was just cracking Richard Marx jokes. But anyway, the point of Richard Marx is that he developed the fucking VR and the moves and all that stuff, but he went to Google, right? And they're saying about this Yeti. Google's coming with a streaming service or whatever. Google's coming into the games. Amazon, where Adam Boyes went, where that studio, and they bought up his studio. They're coming, all right? And Microsoft's coming. That's good. And PlayStation Now is established. Like, that gotta get fixed. They're good games this month, PlayStation Now, which is interesting is they put XCOM 2 in PlayStation Now, which they gave XCOM 2 free with PSN. I'm telling you, they're getting ready for that whole stream it on PlayStation Now and download it natively. It's coming. That's the second crossover I've seen where they gave it on PlayStation Now where you own it and then you could stream it. They've been doing that. So I definitely think it's coming. So, but I'm just saying everybody got their streaming stuff. All right. Just like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, they all streaming movies, right? And if you could watch the same movie on all three services, Who you subscribing to? Nah, man. It's where you go watch your Stranger Things. It's where you go watch Extinction, which is an excellent movie from Netflix. Really cool. That was a real good movie. I watched that yesterday while sitting at the airport. But like, you subscribe to where there's unique, good content. And if Microsoft doesn't have the content, and here comes Google, Google's not coming out kumbaya. Amazon's not coming out kumbaya. We know Sony's not, and we know Nintendo's not. They're coming, and they're going to be bringing games. And they're going to be and Google's going to come out and be like, yo, you're going to subscribe to us and play on the Yeti or whatever it is because we got this. Exactly, man. You cannot rely on third party. And Microsoft needs to realize that. Nobody's going to, and you can say, well, they don't care about the console. They don't care about the That's fine. But if they care about services and they care about their ecosystem, you come for the exclusives, you stay for, you come for the exclusives, you stay for everything else, right? But if you're not coming in with the exclusives and you're not coming, that's when I see people that, oh, Microsoft doesn't have the best streaming service, they're winning next generation. Like, oh, no. You could have the most amazing service. Hint, you could have the most powerful console in the world. But that doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Because you don't have the content. And the content is what drives the service. State of K2 going from 1 NPD last month to 20 this month. That's not showing legs. I mean, State of K2. That's not showing legs. That's concerning. For somebody who's focused on engagement, that means your engagement just dropped because whatever people bought it the first month, that did not sustain. Word of mouth did not carry. That thing, digital and physical, did not sell the second month. It wasn't even in the top 10. It dropped to 20. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. You got to be bringing content, man. And that's what people want to subscribe. And if everybody's bringing their own content and you're like, everybody could play our shit everywhere, well, guess what? Give me my Yeti, my Google, give me my PlayStation, give me my Nintendo, and throw your Xbox shit on there. Thank you. You're happy with that. We're happy with that. Just don't come on stage at E3 2020 and try to sell you a $500 console when you know you don't give a shit about it. You just want to be everywhere. You just want to be on Android. You want to be on iPhone. You want to be on Switch. You want to be on PlayStation. Anybody that launches your app is an Xbox customer. So stop trying to sell hardware and make it look like you give a shit because you're lying to your fan base. Your fan base is sitting here thinking you're going to do Rocky in the top of the 19th round with a swing and come back. When you're just playing dead, throw in the towel. You're basically saying it, but then you try to recommit everybody going, no, we care about you. We do. Go buy a $500 console. We care about you. We care about shit. Exactly. You bought a 360. Mark Woodland for Gears. Yep. What's our Xbox One? And the PlayStation 4 Uncharted 4. Yeah, I bought a PlayStation for and I said it before, and I'm not gonna go on to it even longer, but like when Phil came out there and said $500 for the X, I was like, well, wait a second. For the money I was gonna spend on that X, I'm just gonna buy a PlayStation, and $100 I could go buy a couple of games because Sony was dropping their exclusive games like $20. And I bought up a whole bunch of Microsoft Sony exclusives for that amount of money. And I was like, yo, I could experience something brand new only on PlayStation for less money than Phil wants me to spend in November to play everything I could play right this second. Just in higher fidelity, a little bit sharper resolutions. Like, that's not enough because I just spent a year of PC gaming, playing games, and that did not hold my attention because I'm like, I played this game already. Yes, it looks sharper. Yay, yay, yay. I'm done 20 minutes in because I played it already. So I've already experienced that. I knew that X wasn't going to hold my attention when I could just launch my library, and it's not even 100% of my library. What's up, Life and Time? How you doing, man? I gotta jump back on your show. I think I went on your show a long time ago, though. I gotta see if you can come back on there. But yeah, like yeah, so like basically the yeah, so like I even when you look at the enhanced games, like it wasn't that like I had 300 games on there, and I would click on Xbox One Enhanced, and it would be like, and here's 10, and I'm like, 10. That's crazy. And with all those enhancements, higher resolution and whatever it is, and I see them favoring up resolution because they want to hit that resolution over the frame rate target. They want to say we're running at 4K, a true 4K. That's the marketing term, and you know, the frame rate may vary. Nobody's saying lock 60. Come join us. Sounds good. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll come out on Monday. Yeah. To talk about internet, because I was talking about that. I was just saying about that earlier. If you listen earlier, about how like when people start talking about solely reliable on internet, people go crazy. Even you having 100 megabytes down, there are people that don't have it, and that's why I always said about Microsoft's thing with reaching 2 billion people. Like, how do you? You got to make compromises, even in game design. Make the games accessible. Maybe not have a progression system. Maybe make it welcome that if you join on a year later, it's still fun for you and there's no progression. Or make it that you can't jump into somebody's game and steal from their base because people are not going to know what's going on. There's compromises that you have to make a game accessible when you're trying to reach that kind of audience. And nonetheless, if they're trying to reach that audience across different types of control input, compromises were probably even made more. Oh, we got to make sure it works with touch screens on phones, make sure that it works with keyboard and mouse, make sure that it works with controller. And the developer now has to try to do this. Like, think about if you were an Xbox developer, right? A first party developer. Think about the pressure that you have. They want streaming games. Your game has to run on PC, work with keyboard and mouse effectively, and controller. And you got to make sure your game is configurable and adjustable, like that it could be played on multiple types of PC architectures. AMDs, NVIDIAs, all different variations of power, Intel built-in chipset, built-in graphics cards. And on top of that, you got to go make sure that the game is scalable to work on the 6 teraflop X and the 1 point trash S. Disgusting how they have that thing still priced at what it is. It should stay at $200. Bargain bin. That S. I don't give a shit if they put a super duper HD player in there. The fact that that plays games worst and you have the X that plays it best, you gotta compromise with price. That's how I feel. That S really, you know, when I saw how games ran on the Pro and how ran on the PlayStation Slim and how games ran on the X when I went to go demo it in the store and saw those games and then saw what the S ran, it made me just look at that S like, yeah, I'll go get a Switch. It really is underpowered, and I played Gears of War on my PC and then ran over and played on my S. I was like, oh my God. But you got to make compromises. So as an Xbox first party developer, you got to make sure your game runs. Oh, and then we want to stream it. So it has to have that input with touch input. So think about you're taking your studio. And I think Gaming Addict said this too. Gaming Addict. Shout out to him and Iron Loves Podcast. Those guys are awesome. They are like awesome guys, man. I met them. Their podcast is on Sundays, the Lord's Day. They are hilarious. King David, man, those guys. I was rolling. I was listening to them, and I was on my on the plane, man. Those guys are great. And Attic too. And I totally agree with Attic. And you know, I want to do shout out to Attic because I'll talk to him tonight. You know, he made me think exactly because he was saying the same thing with this confusion stuff, and it made me think and going, yo, we're gonna come right back. And I was even like posting in the chat about it, going, you're right. Like they're gonna start going and talking too much. It's too confusing. And that's what made me want to, bring that up too. So, but those guys are saying it. And And the thing is that you have to have the scalable hardware, and you got to make compromises for the touching and the streaming and all this other stuff. So it's really, you're gonna have to see on how. I know, man. I know the Sunday stuff. I know. I listened to some on Sunday, and then I went to them on Monday. But yeah, man, they're great guys. They're hilarious. But and it's so truthful, because it is what it is. Like, you can have a preference, and I'm not saying you got to hate on Xbox. Like, I don't hate on them. I just am not hopeful for them if they don't change their direction. That's the thing. Like, I can't have the hope. Like, I hope they surprise me. I wish it was E3. Like, they did buy some good studios, but then they kind of let me down with a lot of different announcements that I'm like, wait a second, these games are not even coming. Like, how can you expect us to have 2 years of just a racing game in the holiday? The holiday used to be what they saved up for. Like, if you just go back, I always wanted to do this, but if you just go back and look at every single holiday that Microsoft had, and look at the last 2 years that we had, holidays were stacked. Guys, not too long ago, 2015, they released Gears Ultimate Remastered, Halo 5, and Tomb Raider. That was their holiday lineup with Forza. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. And it's just like, and then they did Gears 4, the Sunset Overdrive 2 with Forza Horizon. Their holidays have been stacked. That we used to complain, going, Microsoft, you don't have anything in the spring, and you just save everything for the holiday. And now, 2 years now straight. Last year, we even had friggin' Lucky Tales. So, I'm going to say I'll end it there. But I got to keep talking. But, I got to get a drink and get ready for tonight's show. Holy shit, it's going to start in an hour. Damn it. Anyway, hey, I appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you so much. I love chatting with you guys. It's fun. I think this is so much fun. I just have a good time, and just, this again, I always have to make a disclaimer. This is how I feel. I'm not going after any people. Fans are going to be fans. You cannot go to Cleveland and yell people like, why you like the Browns? People like stuff for different reasons. You're not going to convert them. So we're not converters, okay? Don't try to convert anybody. No, convert. If people come to the realization that maybe something's better for them, then there. Because you know what? If somebody forced a PlayStation down my throat going, get off Xbox, you'll like PlayStation, I would be reluctant to. Unless they were like, because I feel like I'm being forced. But I just naturally went over there because Microsoft was lacking. And now I appreciate it. And I like what they're doing. Whenever Sony has news or something like that, I'm excited because I know it's about me. It's about the console that I own. But when Microsoft comes out and says they got news, I'm like, Major Nelson's rubbing a white sneaker, a white and blue controller. I'm like, that's not exciting, Major Nelson, what you like rubbing this controller. Like, that's not exciting. Or go to Dave & Buster's and play a new Halo game. It's like, oh, okay, that's all right. But, I'm sitting here with the 4K TV and a friggin' console staring at it, and you tell me to go to Dave & Buster's. That's not exciting. But when Sony talks something, the console owner is number one. When Nintendo does a direct, you grab that Switch and you're holding it. And you're like, yo, what can I download right now, Nintendo? What you got for me? But when Microsoft has a announcement, a show, you're not grabbing your computer and your Xbox going, what can you do? And then they're like, oh, go get your tablet and go play Miami Racing. It's like, huh? Drop your PC and Xbox. Go to Dave & Buster's. It's like, go buy another controller. That's not about any IP that we got, So, but you're not going to convert anybody. So, I don't go after any people. I go after the corporation's messaging and how it feels to me and how I feel about it. And that's how I reacted to the NPDs. I'm just like, in a month where Microsoft had positivity from, they were invested in gaming. They had a $50 price and a sale on all their hardware. And their whole Fortnite debacle where PlayStation was anti-consumer. You can't share my stuff. It's all about playing together. That whole month of June was all about kumbaya, green and red, Christmas time. Didn't carry any momentum to people to go buy a console, to at least make them compete or beat one of the competitors of a Nintendo or Sony. It wasn't enough with all that news to show that, it's just not desirable, and they got to fix it. So anyway, this has been another What Grinds My Gears. This is Jez7780. Go follow me over on Twitter. Like, subscribe, share the video, hit the alerts, because you never know when I'm going to be grinding gears and ranting. It is sad, man. But I appreciate all you guys coming out. I think I was my most concurrent viewers at one time, so I appreciate it. With that, I'm still waiting for my first 200 view YouTube video, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I just want more people to converse with during my shows, because I could talk by myself, but when I got people in there, I like talking more. So I think it's better rather than just having no viewers and just that. But it's really what it's about, just the interaction and talking to people. I got to hit 1,000 subscribers or whatever like that. If you want to subscribe. But I just like to have people to talk to, and appreciate you guys coming out, spending time. So again, this has been Jez7780 with What Grinds My Gears. Check out Planet Xbox tonight. I think we're going to do 8:45. You might hear some same stuff. We'll see. But, we'll see how it goes from there. We'll see how it is. I don't know who our guest is on. I don't know if we're having a guest or not. Oh, and check out Frog's channel too. Frog's Dope Gaming. I've been on his show a couple of times. He does it, I think, on Tuesday nights. With Frogs, he's pretty. He's from Planet Xbox, and he goes, we're kind of in the same boat. Like, we kind of feel like the Xbox is just leaving us behind. And Attic has a good video too early on about that 2020 and things. So everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And Merc too. Merc's been streaming like crazy. Merc 305. He's been streaming. He's been exploring. We've been playing PC together. So it's awesome because we're all dynamic, and that's why I love playing Xbox so much. I think, we all have something to bring to the table, and, those guys are great. So it's cool. Like, you can play streaming with PC, you play the PlayStation, Xbox with Addict, and, Smooth and all those guys. So, yeah, definitely check them out. And, y'all tune in to everybody tonight. And thanks again. And this is Jez77. And this has been another What Grinds My Gears. I need, like, some sound grinding. Like, anyway, thanks again. Talk to you soon.